Oh, there you are, Dan. How you doing?
Thank you so much. All right, so I heard everybody's a bit tired. Why do they put copyrights and all the legal stuff at the end? And why me? I heard some very good questions early on about copyrights, and I hope that I can answer some of those for you today. All right, raise your hand if you have massive copyright questions about the work that you deliver. Okay. All righty. So it seems like copyright is an important technical consideration, and I wanted to explain a little bit more about how YouTube can help you manage your rights and earn more revenue through having an active understanding of copyrights. As a business, we work across multiple platforms,
just a bit.
And I can tell you that YouTube is the most mature copyright sort of friendly platform of all the social media. Simply because they have put in the effort to understand how much hard work goes into rights and rights management. It's just up to you now to realize what is available to you to protect your rights and to know what rights other people have so that you can protect theirs as well too. Remember the ecosystem? The users, creators, and brands and advertisers? The only way to keep this space safe is to ensure that our copyright laws are protected. So let's go through some insights that you will need to know. All right, the three things that copyright management can help you do as a creator are on screen. The first is managing and maintaining control over the things that you own on YouTube. Even if it's stuff that you own that's off YouTube that you want to distribute through YouTube, that's one way that copyright management assists. The second is revenue protection. Now, revenue protection is for two main reasons. The first is when somebody uploads your video and they're making money from that video, you're losing out on that money. YouTube can show you how to manage that money better. The second way to ensure that you protect your revenue is that if somebody else has uploaded another video, and even if they're not making money from it, the fact that they're not watching it on your channel means that they don't want to watch it twice. You're not going to get the revenue from that view, and you want to be able to get the revenue from that view on the video. And the third is professionalism. As we know, obviously, we treat ourselves like businesses, but businesses don't treat us like businesses. And so it's important to realize that if you have effective measures to manage copyrights, you are more likely to be able to work with companies to do bigger deals that have more technical considerations with them because they know they can trust you to manage their copyrights effectively when it comes to doing deals. So it improves your professionalism as a filmmaker and creator. So at the core of everything to do with copyrights, there is only really one rule. And that rule is on screen. Do not upload videos you don't make or use content in your videos that someone else owns the copyright to. It's as simple as that. Don't use stuff you do not have the rights to use. But there are exceptions. Raise some hands to anybody who understands the copyright world has ever heard of the Berne Convention. Anybody raise some hand who's heard of the Berne Convention? One guy's nodding at me. You sure you know, sir? Want to come and tell us about it? Yeah, cool. So there's the Berne Convention. Nigeria is a signatory on the Berne Convention. Has anybody, if you haven't heard of the Berne Convention, have you heard of something called fair use in copyright? Fair use, which is such an American thing. It's an American term. You don't call it fair use here in Nigeria. You call it fair dealings. And you're allowed to use other people's things in your videos so long as, according to the Berne Convention, if you guys don't mind scrolling down on my notes here, just I want to be able to explain the actual note, is that you're allowed to use fair use only in research, private use, criticism, or review of reporting on current events. You're allowed to use somebody else's content only in those contexts, and in no other context may you capitalize on video or audio that you do not own the rights to. Likewise, people who do that to you may not do the same. If you ever get a copyright strike, they will expire after 90 days, and within that 90-day period, you'll be offered an opportunity to learn. The platform will give you a learning opportunity to go and learn more about rights, because we get it, you make mistakes. You think it's fair, you think it's fine, the system tells you it's not, and you learn through that process. You do it again, and there will start to be real ramifications from platform. So let's talk about the various ways that you can manage your rights on platform. There are really 4 copyright management tools that are available to creators on YouTube. There will be a QR code on screen for each of those tools. So maybe you can have multiple tabs on your phone and keep them, but I'm also available afterwards to share those tools with you. But there are 4 tools. The first one, everybody in this room, if you have a YouTube channel, has access to. And that's the copyright takedown web form. This copyright takedown web form is available to all creators. It's a legal process, and it's an opportunity for you to flag if somebody else is uploading things that you own. So musicians, if you're hearing your songs on other people's content you haven't given them permission to, or videos that they're using of yours, or moments within your videos that they're using that you didn't give them permission to, you can send YouTube a note to say, this is my video. But just a pause to note, you cannot be grumpy and upset and not submit proof. You will need to be able to prove that you are indeed the right owner of this content. YouTube will only offer a takedown if it is proved that you are indeed the right owner, and the other person who you've claimed is using your stuff does not submit relevant documentation to say that, oh, no, I do own it, here's the contract. If they don't provide anything in the contrary, then the video will be taken down. The second tool that's available to you is called the Copyright Match tool. This tool becomes available to you as a creator when you reach YPP, when you reach the YouTube Partner Program, either the early access or the 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours in a 12-month period. And it's available in the back end of your channel. Every upload that you upload onto your channel will be tracked on the internet. If the system, it's called Content ID, spots a match of audio or visual from stuff that you've uploaded, it will ask you, what do you want to do with this? And I'll explain to you the 3 options that it can do. The second way to get access to this the Copyright Match tool is to submit the first one, submit the claim form, a takedown request form. If it's successful, that video that you uploaded will be tracked forever onwards, and you will be informed as a creator if somebody ever re-uploads it again, or someone else does it as well too. The third is called the Content Verification Program. It's designed especially for copyright holding companies. So raise your hand if you're a producer or a distributor and not a filmmaker. Cool? That's a very shy hand. It's only like 1 or 2 people in the room. But perhaps even as a filmmaker, you own multiple rights to multiple videos and multiple series, and one takedown form per video just won't work for you. This program, which you'll have to verify yourself, you'll have to explain a bit more about why you think that you need this tool, and you'll need to demonstrate that you have lots of rights to lots of content and need support from YouTube in order to be able to have access to this tool. The last and most complex tool that allows you to be more proactive about copyright management is Content ID. Content ID takes a thumbprint of every upload that you make to the system, whether it be private, unlisted, or even public, and it will then track that video and that audio across the internet to see if anybody else ever uploads something similar or the same of your content. In that realm, there's really 3 things that you can do in the YouTube copyright system. The one is to just track it. I want to just monitor, want to see what's happening, because I'm happy for people to use my stuff. I just want to see what's going on out there. I want the data analytics. I want to see people view this content. I want to see the engagement. Carry on using my stuff. The second option is a little bit more serious, is to monetize, where you allow them to keep the video on their channel. It gains lots of views on their channel, but you're happy because all the revenue from that video gets forwarded to you as the original copyright holder, not to the person who uploaded the video. So they'll get lots of views, but they'll make no money. And we want the bread. So this works for especially smaller creators or people who don't have large-scale audiences on their YouTube channels, because then the big dogs who use your stuff, you're happy with. Because you're going to get a guaranteed audience to drive awareness on your content, and you make lots of money from their large viewership. Don't worry about the fact that it's not on your channel, because people are going to see it, and you hope that it's going to drive you some good revenue. But the third is obviously the one that most creators will want to do to protect their copyrights, which is get this takedown request done, where the video will be physically taken down from that YouTube channel, and they won't be allowed to monetize it, they won't be allowed to publish it, it will be removed from that platform. The power really is in your hands with Content ID, and unfortunately, as an individual creator, it's very, very difficult to get access to Content ID. Because you'll need to really be able to prove that this tool is something that you're going to need, right? You'll need to prove that in the geography that you are in, that you are indeed the right holder. The beautiful thing about it is that you can also set policies. Hey, in America, monetize, but in South Africa, block. Or you can choose to set up these proactive policies on what you want the system to do. Companies like ours, the creator service providers I mentioned earlier on, some of them get access to Content ID through a content owner. And that content owner assists creators like yourselves on managing rights. Raise your hand if you've heard of an MCN before. Multi-channel network. Cool. They don't have a very good name in industry because obviously they've been around for a while, the model's changed over time. But at the core root of what an MCN does is Google signs a contract with them to say, please protect the rights of creators at scale. Look after the content on the platform at scale. They sign creators onto a network and they help you manage your rights on the YouTube platform. That way they can control that one company is looking after maybe 100 channels and 100 copyrights. We can trust them. They can't sign individual contracts with the 2 billion people who create content on YouTube on a one-on-one level through Content ID. They need to be able to prove that there's a demonstrable trust that you have with the system to deliver on your own copyrights. Okay, so that's a one-way gain access, but the other way is that you can fill in a really important form that is actually right at the back at the beginning. I was going to go all the way back to it. Sorry, I know that the tech team don't like me going back, but I need to go back to show you guys something. This little document over here, just scan it for me if you can. If it's too small, just zoom in. If it's still too small and you don't manage, just come back to me. This will give you access to all of the different copyright management tools, information, minimum criteria, how to